Welcome to another video. I know you guys been wanting one, so here it is. Let's talk about today a little bit of old cycles, modern cycles, and of course, cycle bombs. So, start off with the old cycles. You guys been seeing in forums, and I get many requests from the clients. Hey, talk about this subject. So, man, old cycles, word says it, old. Doesn't mean it doesn't work, it was whatever they had available at that time. So in this case, clear example, they would always put D-bol in the beginning and a little bit of testosterone. Now, they would jump from testosterone to turinabol because it's something manageable and easy. And of course, they would add some other compound. It didn't really matter, it was whatever was available at that time. Now, that was old time. And they would do a lot, really good on these. Really good, really amazing. Now, in the midsection, encountering to the actual modern cycles, this is what happened. There was a transition. This transition, they saw that the cycles were not effective anymore because training, nutrition, there was too much out there. People trying new things. This happens. It's like a catastrophic event in bodybuilding, but it actually wasn't. It was like almost like a cycle bomb theory. So here it goes. First off, you have old times where there were some cycles that are different, where they would tell you, hey, I was on in 3 weeks, 3 weeks off. 4 weeks, 4 weeks off. 5 weeks, 5 weeks off. You know, it didn't really matter. Just they were doing that, and they would see that they would go like from monster, amazing looking physiques to like crippled and just like, oh, I lost everything. So people got discouraged. They're like, no, I'm not going to do this because it's giving a bad name. If I'm on the juice, that means I can't do it anymore because if I get off, then I'm going to lose everything. So what's the purpose? The purpose is that we need to discover something that I discovered. I called it, in cycle bombs, prolonged exposure. But still, let me go over the modern cycles. Modern cycles happened about from 1976 to 1998. And of course, they were trying to push it all the way to 2012 about. Now, what happened? They started discovering that adding 3 compounds, taking away D-bol, it would help you cut. Now, they weren't using D-bol as much unless that was the only thing, the only option. And they started to introduce this compound and say, hey, this is amazing to have, but as a start point. And now everybody's like, oh my God, D-bol should be used for this purpose and not for this purpose. So they finally discovered what to do in a modern cycle. It's just changing the ways and pathways. So what happens? Modern cycles got completely demolished. And this is why. Nutrition, they were giving a cutting, basically, diet with a bulking cycle. And you would see this because they were trying to figure out what's going on. And what happened? Me looking all the years and everything, doing research, I found, come on, logic reasoning, right? Critical thinking. Something's going on that needs to be fixed. So, is coming off cycle good for you, or is it bad? Or is it good to stay on cycle forever, for a long period of time, using less, or some compounds? So let's actually make some science happen here. Let's freaking use the brain and document every single aspect of every compound, how it works, every cycle, isolating the factors of each compound to figure out the proper cycles you need for your cycle, and of course for your transformation. So in this case, modern cycles, quick topic. Testosterone as a base, they remove testosterone, they would add nandrolone because people were losing hair, so they start doing like high doses. At 1,500 of testosterone, they saw that blood work was amazing. So these people kept their cycles going. Stay here. They kept their cycles going because they were just using one compound. Right? So by using one compound, they saw that the blood work did not change. And they were on it for 1, 2, 3 years, 5, 8 years, same cycle, seeing maximum gains. All they did was increase testosterone. They said, wait, if testosterone by itself is doing this, that means that I could actually continue forever, and I could actually add one compound and see what happens. Cycle bombed. This is where I happened, where Dr. Tony happened, where Coach Trevor happened, where all the enhanced athletes happened. Boom, we exploded. We come out with SARMs, with peptides, with mitigating every side effect, with mitigating every side effect to medically conditions in the past for everybody in bodybuilding. So you're tired of the old cycles and the modern cycles, and you want something brand new? You should get a real coach. Someone that really, really knows what the heck they're talking about. That knows exactly how to mitigate every single thing. Now, when you're using peptides, and we didn't talk about peptides then, we didn't talk about SARMs then, we didn't talk about multiple compounds then, even though they were present, people were discouraged, they were not using them right. Why? Because they were using them for animals. People didn't want to touch them. Yes, animals. They've been out for a long time. I'm talking about like 1951, 1953. You know, those years, that's a long time, right? So what happens? Man, something had to happen because we had to be superhuman. We had to evolve. We had to find out the biggest way to get 22-inch biceps, freaking huge chest. You need gains, but you need to maintain those gains, and you got to preserve the mass. So let me give you a really cool, amazing cycle for you guys. I'll give you one that's for bulking, one for cutting. And I'm going to start this way, exactly. Cutting and bulking. Now this is why. When you're actually doing a cutting cycle, and you start, and you're fat, you want to cut. Yes, you want to cut because you want to cut all the fat and then have a foundation to actually bulk. So this is where the mistake happened in the past with modern cycles. So I even tried it, so it doesn't work. Now, when you're cutting, you should always remember, get to the freaking, think about the smallest person you could ever imagine in your life as you being that person in the mirror. And you have to try. You have no option. You have to be willing to die for this goal. So that means you have to try to eat like a bird. You need to train like a monster. But you're cutting because you feel superhuman, and you're actually doing it right. You're using peptides, you're using SARMs, you're using a couple of compounds, and you're isolating the side effects using other medicine, modern medicine, which prevents prolonged, crazy exposure to these compounds that would actually mitigate and affect, let's say, your heart, brain, testicular function, everything else. So in this case, let's start with the cutting cycle. My advice is, if you could go with 200, 300 milligrams of actual testosterone a week, do that. Keep testosterone low. This is the reason. When you're cutting, you want testosterone low because it retains a little bit of water. Yes. Now, in high doses, testosterone, what does it do? Bulk. So that means if you don't have anabar, anadrol, superdrol, all you have is testosterone, just use testosterone. The best cycle in the world. It really is. It really is. Now, you have to use a lot of it. I'm talking about like almost 2,500 milligrams a week. Is it good for everybody? No. Is it good for some people? Yes. Why? It depends how freaking hard you work in the gym. It will always depend on this. So, it means if you're pinning, work out. Oh, are you going to do 8 sets or 7 sets? 4 times? No. Fuck no. You need to fucking work your ass off. That means 25, 30 reps of 30 sets for 2 muscle groups, 3 muscle groups a day, 5 times a week. And I could guarantee you in 6 weeks, 12 weeks, you're going to have a monster physique. Now, if you're 300 pounds, yeah, like I was, 347 pounds, You're going to need more than 30 weeks, man, because we're trying to cut 177 pounds. And that's the real truth. Don't let anybody lie to you. Don't let anybody tell you, oh my God, I'm going to tell you this story. This is what's going to happen. No, there's going to be stuff going down the road. Now, if you try old cycle, is it going to work? No. No. It's not going to work for the long run, because you're going to have to find and figure out that bomb cycles, the real, exposure to the prolonged use of the compounds at really perfect percentage rates are the key. Because when you finish the transformation, you need to work out simple, like Dr. Tony does, like Coach Trevor does, working out 2 times a week. Myself, 3 times a week, 4 times a week maybe. Why? Because I have so many clients. Is it an excuse? No. But when I freaking do the freaking work, I'm freaking doing 30 to 35 reps, 30 sets. It's freaking, it is intense. You feel it in your heart, in your veins. You feel it everywhere. Your eyes are about to blow up. But you feel so satisfied at the end. When you're doing the push-ups, the sit-ups, you're doing 1,000 sit-ups. Abs. I don't do sit-ups. I'm against sit-ups. Abs. And I got 4 exact exercise. I stick with those. You get crazy abs. Dude, it is insane how you feel. You can flick off the workout at the end and you feel amazing. So when you're pinning, you have to really remember that you need to work out. So difference is, when you're doing these type of cycles, they're really for cutting, you should always stay in a path that you could actually maintain your physique. So going back to cycle bombs, you got the testosterone, now they included primo, and of course the coach is going to tell you, well, we could add anabar. Now we got rid of the fat in your belly, so now we're going to use the fragment 176191 protocol with L-carnitine. Boom, gets rid of the brown fat. You look shredded, amazing physique. What else could we add? We could add a SARM. Why? Low androgenic. Why not? It's low androgenic. It doesn't have side effects. It boosts your sex drive. So let's add Rad 140 to the mix. How are you going to take Rad 140? Well, one of the discoveries I made with one of my best clients, Ali. Yeah, Ali. Ali is the type of guy that you would actually say, man, impressive. He makes your jaw drop whenever he says he's going to do something. And watch out for him, because he's going to be legendary. He freaking does it. He has never failed a workout. Ever. Not even one. 3rd time around with me. 12 weeks. Every mission I give him, he succeeds. That's the type of client you got to be. He's willing to die for his goal. He's willing to die for this goal. Now, he and me discovered that Rad 140 at 100 milligrams could actually benefit you more taking it every 3 days. Yes. So you take it every 3 days, you're going to see better results than taking it every day. And I'm talking about crazy sex drive. And of course, you're in a cycle, taking testosterone as a base. Now you're adding a little bit of primo, you're adding a couple other things. Maybe at the end, you want to add some proviron to cut the water. At the end, a high dose, like maybe 100, max 150. You could throw an AI just to get a little bit shredded. You reach that physique, and you look beautiful and amazing. It's time to bulk, and this is why I always cutting first. So the cycle bombs, this is where it happened. Cycle bombs, cutting to freaking mass explosive. So you cut and then you bulk. Why? You're going to come off all the cutting compounds. And now you're introducing the freaking compounds that are going to blow you up. That means exotic. That means peptides. We're talking about like MK677 that can completely replace human growth hormone. We're talking about CJC 1295. We're talking about IGF LR3. We're talking about PEG MGF. Now you got to use these right. Perfect. There's ways to freaking conquer in bodybuilding. Now, when you put these peptides and you add dianabol, anadrol, the NAP50 compound at night. NAP50 because you take it at night. When you're in to the cycle, you take it pre-workout. Yes, that's what we figured out. That's how we finally figured out how to do, because your body is freaking growing 24/7. So we got to find our way to adapt the cycle bomb. What is the cycle bomb? The anabolic matrix. When you don't have a system, when you don't have in place something that works, you're going to always fail. This is why you build a plan of action. This is why I'm with the best. Because I always say you have to plan ahead. You have to stay on point for your freaking goals. You have to be willing to die for it. You got to be so organized. It's so crucial that no matter what, you have to identify your source. You have to identify that what you're doing is right. And you have to identify that your coach knows what the fuck he's talking about. So if he's not, fire his ass. If I'm wrong, tell me you're wrong, coach. Why not? I'm not gonna tell you you're wrong. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. Oh, hey, let me hold back. Let me find out. Let me read about it. That's why I will never tell you something if I don't know it for sure. Now, stay proactive. Stay organized. When you do everything correctly, and we talked about adding peptides, right? Now we could add some compounds to grow. Why not add a SARM, LGD4? You know, you could add LGD. It's gonna blow you up like a monster. What else could you add? Now we have arachidonic acid. We even have formafil. Come on, guys. It doesn't get better than this. If you want to freaking blow up even further and more intense and stay side effect free, always add EQ to your cycle low dose every day. Don't think about the ester anymore. Why? Because now we have esterification. A lot of coaches don't know what this is. It's so simple. So simple. If you don't know what it is and you're looking at this, coach, ask me, man. Esterification. Yeah. It's where you could take a compound out of the body and make it last 10 minutes to 100 minutes in your body. In and out. So yeah, that means you could cheat. But like Arnold said, bend the rules, right? So we bend the rules. Why? Because we want to aim for freedom, respect, dignity, attitude. We want the courage to say I was the best I could be in life. So if that's you, do it. But this is a topic I wanted to freaking just blow everybody's head off, just talking about old cycles, modern cycles, and bomb cycles, which is the anabolic matrix. You could add 3 compounds: masterone, testosterone, primo, in a cutting. And you could even add 2 compounds to a freaking booking cycle. Not even a lot, but you will blow up. It depends on the dose and on your coach. And of course, to mitigate some side effects, just to throw this out the window, if you have high cholesterol and you're in a bulking cycle, all you need to take is simvastatin. You take a little bit of that, 17 days at 20 micrograms, bro, you're gonna be good. But there's a lot to talk about this. I wish I could put everything out, but the video would be like 3 hours long, guys. But open up a discussion in the bottom section of the video, and I will try to respond to all your answers. I got many clients. I love you all. I had someone today got into my Instagram, and he got really sad because I didn't respond to him. But guys, man, I don't have a lot of followers on Instagram or on Facebook or even here, but I will have a lot. Now the thing is, not everybody subscribes, right? What happens is I receive thousands of messages a day, man. I had to get a brand new phone. So I got 2 phones, 3 phones, because one of them just crashed. It's so 127 messages. Now let's be realistic. You really think I don't care? I care, man. But if I was a freaking computer, I swear, I would respond to everybody's question, man. Every single one of you, man. And I want to help you. But I have my clients first. And they are my priority because I told them I care. And they put their life in my hands. So if I discontinue my work and duty as a professional coach in bodybuilding to respond to everybody, that would make me a bad coach, because I'm forgetting that they're putting food in my table because they're paying me. And I'm actually taking advantage of their time. And I think that's not fair. So my advice is, if you want to hire me, if you need true help, I'm humbled, man. I'm really genuine. I will help you build the perfect cycle. I will build it from scratch. Not only that, I will give you your regimen for training and your foods every single day that you have to eat to accomplish your goal for your physique, not for me. Custom tailored to you. And I think that's the best way. And if you can't afford my coaching, and it will go up, unfortunately, it's out of my hands. It's just high demand, man. It's so hard because I really put like almost 120 hours. So, and I think it's worth it. I got Zoom calls, which is one-on-one coaching. And it's a consultation, 2 hours. You know how much we could talk about in 2 hours? You could get to know me. I could answer all your questions. You could tell me the story of your life. And I swear, man, you're going to leave with a proper plan to execute. So when you're ready, or either you already accomplished something when you come at me to hire me, or you get the full transparency of everything that you're looking for. Sources, it doesn't matter what it is, because there's no lies, man. Only the truth, because no one ever told me the truth, and I think you guys deserve it. Anyways, I love you guys. Please never ever give up on your dreams. Stay focused. This is Coach Elias from Enhance Athletes. You guys know him now.